For over a decade, Nicolás Maduro held Venezuela in a grip of iron, transforming a once prosperous nation into a landscape of crisis and defiance. But in the early hours of January 3, 2026, the world woke up to a stunning shift. The Venezuelan strongman had been captured in a daring U.S. military raid.
To understand how it all ended, we have to go back to how it began. Maduro wasn't always a global pariah. He started his journey in the working-class neighborhoods of Caracas as a humble bus driver and union leader. His loyalty to the charismatic Hugo Chavez was absolute. As Chavez's health failed, he handpicked Maduro to carry the torch of the Bolivarian Revolution, paving the way for his narrow and controversial ascent to the presidency in 2013. But the transition was anything but smooth. As oil prices plummeted, Maduro's government struggled to maintain the lavish subsidies of the past. What followed was one of the most severe economic collapses in modern history.
Hyperinflation turned the bolivar into scrap paper. Prices doubled every few weeks, and basic necessities like medicine and food became luxuries that millions of Venezuelans simply could no longer afford.
As the crisis deepened, so did the repression. Protests erupted across the country, but they were met with a heavy hand. Maduro utilized state security forces and pro-government militias to crush any sign of dissent. Thousands were arrested, and reports of human rights abuses began to pile up. The international community watched in horror as Maduro dismantled democratic institutions to ensure he stayed in power, regardless of the cost to his people. The 2024 elections were the final straw for many. Despite overwhelming evidence of an opposition victory, Maduro declared himself the winner once again. It was a move that isolated him further and set the stage for a final confrontation with Washington. By 2025, the U.S. had designated Maduro's inner circle as part of a narco-terrorism conspiracy. The buildup was quiet but massive. Then, on January 2nd, the order was given. Operation Absolute Resolve was a go. In a precision strike that lasted just over 2 hours, U.S. Delta Force and Special Operations teams descended on Maduro's fortress in Caracas. Amidst explosions and suppressed gunfire, the man who ruled Venezuela for 13 years was finally taken into custody. By sunrise, Maduro was no longer in Venezuela. He was transported to a U.S. Navy warship, the USS Iwo Jima, before being flown to New York City to face charges of drug trafficking and narco-terrorism. Today, as Maduro awaits trial in a Manhattan courthouse, Venezuela stands at a crossroads. The era of the bus driver turned dictator has ended, leaving behind a nation eager to rebuild and a world watching to see what happens next. Thanks for watching.